so. Super heavy ones. Well, new day, new mission. So yesterday I traveled out here a ways, and I'm on a new journey. Thursday was my last day of work. So that being said, I got a lot of horn hunting to do. I'm just going to be shed hunting the next few months and really trying to up my content. So stay tuned, because there's going to be a lot of videos coming you guys' way. But yeah, I left my job Thursday. It's my last day for the spring. My boss was super cool about it and was like, hey, the doors are always open if you need to come back. So I always have a job I can fall back on there. But right now, I'm just gonna go pick up antlers. So I headed out a ways last night, stayed the night, and now I'm headed the rest of the way to the spot I want to get to. I'm almost there, and I'm gonna get up there and see what I can find. Go watch bulls. They're starting to shed, so I'm gonna go watch them and maybe get lucky, see a couple shed bulls and find some sheds. So stay tuned. There's some wild adventures coming this spring, and you're not gonna want to miss it. So it's gonna be a fun one, and I hope you guys join me for the journey. I'm starting my ascent up the mountain. It's still pretty cold out, so ground's still pretty frozen. But this is a very steep hill. I'm afraid when it gets warm, it could get slick nasty, but for now it's good. So I'm gonna head up to the top of this, and then I'm gonna hike a little ways once I get on top and see if we can find some bulls. So try to relocate or get eyes on a big bull I saw last weekend that I have sheds off of. I'd love to pick him up again, so that's kind of one of the main goals. Try to relocate them, see where they're kind of at. But I better get climbing, so see you guys at the top. Well, made it up in here. I'm about 3 or 4 miles in probably, and just sitting on a glassing knob. I've looked over quite a bit of country up to this point and haven't seen anything. Found some coyotes eating on a dead moose. That was kind of cool. They were pretty close, but no elk so far. I saw these bulls last weekend just across the canyon from me on this opposite face, so I'm glassing into the cedars, seeing if there's anything in there, but haven't been able to pick anything out yet. Well, got a couple burgers cooking up. Gonna eat those and then, yeah, set up my bed in the back of my truck for tonight. Just got a big sleeping bag I'm gonna throw back there. And yeah, so I guess I didn't end up seeing any bulls on my hike. Saw a few shed bucks, but obviously didn't want to go hike around and push those around. But on my drive out, I did some glassing, and I glassed up 3 bulls tonight. One really nice looking bull, so pretty stoked for that. But anyways, better take care of these burgers. But I'm gonna set up the bed, and I'll catch you guys in the morning. Well, good morning. Slept really good last night, actually, in the big old King's sleeping bag, negative 35-degree bag. Super nice. I don't recall waking up at all. In fact, my alarm didn't go off this morning. I think my phone was just a little bit cold. I don't know. But I woke up about the time it was getting light, about perfect. Drove around for a little bit. Didn't see any bulls this morning, but like I said last night, I saw a few. So I drove up this road. And I'm gonna hike up to this point up here, see if I can look down onto them without messing with them, see if they're bulls worth keeping tabs on. So that's the plan. The one looked like a dandy, so I think he's gonna be worth keeping some tabs on. But I'm gonna climb up there and see what I see. Well, kind of an uneventful day. I never did see that big bull again. I saw the 2 little bulls he was with. They were 2 little 5x6s. And I bailed down, got back to the truck, ate some lunch, and then drove around for a little bit. Just trying to get an idea of where to go. And then right at last light, I came back to the same spot that I was this morning, and I glassed some bulls up. Well, there was a spike and then 2 other elk. And I couldn't tell what the one was, but the other one did not have antlers, and it had a big old yellow body. So I think it's a shed bull. But anyways, I'm gonna go hike up on that ridge tomorrow, where I can glass some of that country, go see what that's about. So that's the plan tonight. We got hot dogs cooking. So yeah, eat some hot dogs, get some sleep, and hopefully tomorrow's more eventful. So that's the plan. But see what we can find. Well, another morning. Slept pretty good last night. Woke up, drove down the road just a little bit where I could glass this knob above me where I saw that big bull yesterday. And there's a shed bull up there. And he was jumping around, shaking his head, acting all weird. So he took off through a saddle. I don't know. He was pretty bothered. So anyways, I'm really hoping that that's the big bull, and he separated yesterday like I thought to go shed. So that's pretty exciting. He's on a little bench I couldn't see yesterday from where I was, but I'm going to bail up there and see what I can find. Like I said, he left the area, so I'm not too worried about bothering him because I don't want to bother stuff. So I'm gonna get headed up there, and hopefully we can get some browns. The first browns at 2025. Holy crap, guys. So as I was saying at the truck, if I made any sense, because I was super excited this morning. I had really high hopes. Anyways, I saw this bull jumping around acting like a maniac right here, just like he'd lost his head. And freaking booyah. I got a big brown laying right here where I saw him jumping around. I just missed him shedding it too. This is insane. I'm gonna hopefully find the other side. So I'm just gonna follow his tracks up to it. But yeah, I'll zoom in on it for you guys. This is freaking awesome. Yeah, see that? That is what I'm talking about. I don't think that's the bull I thought was up here. I think that's a completely different one. That thing's got a giant third. Yes! All right. I'm just getting to this shed. That's a pretty big antler. Yeah. That's a stud. Oh, look at the blood. When I saw him jumping around, he had to have just thrown that off his head. Talk about right place, right time. That is a stud. Man. I followed his tracks. And I didn't see anything. Maybe the other side's right around this bend. Hopefully so. Oh man. Golly. It's the first brown elk shed of 2025. It actually fell right here and then rolled down. It's kind of cool. Oh man. Holy cow. Yeah, that's a stud. I might have this bull's antler from last year, to be honest with you. That's awesome. Heavy horn. That's at least 11 pounds. Just a stud bull. Mega mass down here, giant burrs. 7-point. But yeah, he looks really, really similar to a bull I picked up last year. I would not be surprised. That's awesome. I can't believe that. Talk about right place, right time. I seriously had to have just missed this bull shedding. I mean, I watched him right here running around, shaking his head. He had to have just thrown it off right when I saw him. That's crazy. Normally, it's a Monday. Normally I'd be at work, but I took a chance, left my job to find sheds this spring, like I told you guys. And first day not going back to work, not bad. That's awesome. Well, let's match him up. I'm still in disbelief. This is crazy. Right place, right time. That's insane. Let's throw this on for now. Well, I've been following this bull's tracks for a little while. Well, not even for that long, actually. I found the first side of this bull, 200 yards away maybe, just off of this face down here. But he looped around, did a bunch of zigzags, and I just kept following him around. And I came walking up, I realized I didn't have my mic on when I walked up on it, but booyah. There it is. It's the other side. It is that broken bull that I saw packing the other day. So unfortunately, he does have a broken sword. but that's a stud no matter what. He wanted to be an 8 on that side. Yeah, he broke his snort. Dang it. Well, we'll get it picked up and get this set together, huh? Kind of in a bad spot for location. So, yeah, because I'm just on a big old top. But I think this will work. Here we go. Oh, that side's still super heavy without the sword. Dang. Oh, they're super heavy horns. Holy cow. That is awesome. I'm still in disbelief, but just sat down, took some pictures for the Instagram. So go follow the Instagram if you want to see those. Instagram usually sees my finds first. So, yeah. But I'm gonna eat some lunch, head back down to the truck actually, drop these off, and then I'm gonna go hike the other side where I saw what I'm pretty certain was a shed bull yesterday, and then go from there. But this made it all worth it right here anyways, but gonna keep looking anyways. Another day climbing the mountain looking for sheds and bulls. But yesterday, I guess I didn't get a video of it, but I ended up not finding anything. I hiked around for a while and I glassed some bulls that were still packing. One nice 6-point and then just a few raghorns. And I hit like a ton of like week old elk sign, just slammed in there. Bull sign, rubs everywhere. But then I was hitting like week old boot prints, so I think someone knew something that I did not. It's my guess. And so far, there's a little bit of bull sign, but it kind of looks like they just are passing through like a couple days ago, because I'm not seeing like rubs or beds or anything yet, but I'm gonna keep working this stuff, see what I can find. But if I can't get into a little more sign, hopefully that means they were up on this top or something like that. But it's still early, so I mean, there could be a shed right here where they pass through, so I'm just gonna backtrack these tracks, see if I can figure out where they came from, and go from there. But that's the plan. I found a handful of browns right here last year and a few old ones. Yeah, a good chunk of my sheds from this area came from right here. So yeah, we're gonna wander around, see what we can find. Well, it's been a minute, but I've covered a lot of country in a short amount of time just trying to get into elk. Unfortunately, last weekend we bumped some bulls and they came down into these cedars, so I came down here and booyah, I just found a deadhead. Not what I was expecting to find. It's a pretty decent 6-point though. Let's go see what it is. Yeah, right there. Dang. Gnarly bases on that thing. Not a giant, but look at those bases. Dang. It's been here a minute. It died probably in September, looks like. Yeah, just a really pretty bull. Not sure what we're gonna do with that. Obviously I'd like to snag those antlers, but definitely stinks. Might just have to cut them off, but see if I have the saw in the pack. That's the real question. There we go. First find of the day. Well, I do have the saw. So yeah, pretty bull. Super knobby. Didn't rub, so I'd definitely say September. Or August. Early September, late August. Surprisingly, it's not too super bleached out, but yeah, we're just gonna cut the horns off on this guy. Yeah, see how big of a pain that's gonna be. This saw seems to be not the greatest sometimes for cutting bone, but it does the trick. So we're gonna saw on this for a little bit and see what we can do. All right. Well, that was a bit of a process. Got my arm workout in for the day, that's for sure. Got the horns off. Yeah. Just a pretty bull. Not a giant, super heavy horns though, still. All these bulls out here just have dense horns. But doesn't help I have an extra inch on the bases. But yeah, there they are. We're gonna get them strapped on the pack and keep moving. That wasn't supposed to happen, obviously. But I am in a state where you can take deadheads, so that's why I cut the horns off and I'm taking them. I am allowed to take it, so just thought I'd throw that out there because it's probably a question I'll get asked. Don't get me wrong, I don't like finding them like this. I really don't. But I was gonna add one thing that's kind of cool that you don't see very often, because you're picking up sheds. They've gone they've gone through the fall and the spring just rubbing and fighting and all that stuff. But when you find them this time of year, before just right when they get out of the velvet, a lot of times they just got super pointy points on them. They're just not dulled off at all, just super sharp points. And then they're super knobby. So it's kind of cool to see that. But obviously, we don't like to find them like this, but I mean, look at all that texture on that antler. Crazy. It's pretty neat, but yeah, usually you don't see that in the spring. Gnarly. Look at those bases though, that's what I was talking about earlier. Big old bases. Wild. Alright, well, I've been gone for about 3 weeks, just been shed hunting. Came home for a little bit to kind of recoup and edit some videos for you guys. So this video, obviously, found the first browns of the year. And I realized when I was showing them off, they weren't really in the frame too well. But there are those. Just an awesome bull. And I said I might have another shed off of this bull. And I got home here. And I do. So, same bull. Pretty cool. Always cool to get multiple years off of the same bull, but he threw a 7th this year, obviously, and wanted to throw an 8, and he didn't. He was just a straight 6 this year before. Here's kind of what he looks like if he was held with the other side. Obviously, put on a few inches, so that's pretty cool to see. And then you guys saw this set. I showed these off a fair amount, but yeah, just a nice 6-point. Unfortunately, it was a deadhead, but anyways, thanks for watching that one. It's the first browns of the year. I have a bunch more videos coming. Like I said, I've been out hiking for like 3 weeks, so been on some crazy adventures with some good friends and my dad. And yeah, we've been hitting the hills. I've picked up some really nice antlers, so stay tuned because there's more coming soon. And then hopefully we can get these videos out and get hitting some browns. So anyways, thanks for watching. Sorry these videos are a little bit longer. Lots of me talking, especially this one just because it's early on. There's very few browns on the ground, so kind of just taking you through the process of what it takes to find these browns, these early droppers that I do. But anyways, thanks again, and we'll see you on the next one.